Sir on the two. 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 This is Sir on the two, and I'm Sir Goodwin. Today, I'm joined by two NBA experts where we're going to break down the NBA playoffs. Since our first episode of Sir on the Two, the NBA season took an unexpected turn where Kevin Durant was injured, and also teams that we thought were going to make the playoffs did not make the playoffs. So my friends here, they're going to help me break down the NBA playoffs and find out who's going to be our 2015 champion. I would like to welcome back again Mark Twain to the show. He was on our first episode. Welcome back. How you doing?
Sure.
All right. And Dale Rogers, Terrence Rogers is here. He joined me for the MLB edition. He's going to help us do the NBA predictions here. How you doing today?
How you doing, sir?
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Well, in the Western Conference, we have Golden State as the number one seed. I'm pretty sure you and I predicted both of them to finish number one before, and they are going against the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, Kevin Durant went down shortly after the All-Star break, and we thought that Oklahoma City would get in. But the Pelicans snuck in with the one game, by one game, to get that 8th spot. Do you all think that the Pelicans have a chance to beat Golden State in a 7-game series?
No, not a chance. I actually think Golden State will sweep them.
I think they can get one game, maybe one, like game 3 or something. But other than that, no chance. They got no chance.
In our 2-7 matchup, we have the Houston Rockets and the Dallas Mavericks, the Battle of Texas. Houston, James Harden, MVP candidate. You got your old school Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas. Where do you all think that this series will end up?
I think that series. I think it could possibly go 6, maybe 5. But I think Houston will come out on top just because they, with Harden the way he playing this year, they're just more talented to me.
You know what? It seems like Dallas is the only Western team that nobody's talking about. So I think we should give them a little bit more credit. Like, I think they can take that series into 7. I still think Houston's gonna win, but I think if Dirk and the rest of the boys come together, they can give them a run for their money. You know?
Okay. In our 3-6 matchup, we have the San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Clippers. The well-rested San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich loves to rest his players, his veteran players, where they don't play back-to-back games and things like that. And it used to be where they would just rest players towards the end once the teams have clinched, so you know what seed you're going to be. Now, to me, it's ridiculous that these teams rest players throughout the year, playing 70 out of 82 games when they're not really hurt. They just want to save it for the playoffs. How do you all feel about that?
Well, from a fan perspective, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to the game and I'm expecting to see Tim Duncan and the stars, you want to see that. But from an organization standpoint, I totally get it because the season, it is a grind. You know what I'm saying? And then San Antonio, they players, they ain't no spring chicken. You know what I'm saying? So they need their rest, and it takes a toll on the body. So you do kind of gotta rest them. But me personally, what I would do if I was somebody in the NBA organization, stretch out the season where you don't have back-to-backs as much, or just give them practice off. You know, because I think back in the day, Phil used to give Jordan and Pippen just days off from practice, but they'd play the game. So, you know, it's
Dale, what do you think?
Me personally, I don't have a problem with it, especially in the Spurs case. I mean, they are old, and I mean, it works. It worked last year. And it stands to work every day, always somewhere. But like, I don't. I mean, I would shorten the minutes, maybe. You know, like Thibodeau. You know, he like to ride the players. Like if they still in the game, they up by 20 points. But like, I would probably like put them on a minute restriction or something like that. But I wouldn't. I'm not opposed. I'm not against it.
I'm thinking millions of dollars. You can rest in the summer. You got the whole summer off. You rest in. Let's play. And going back to what you say, the road team, when you're on the road and you resting your players, especially when they only come to your city once a year, that is a problem. And I do think that it should be addressed. San Antonio, LA Clippers, 3-6. Who you got, Dale?
That's a tough one. It depends. I mean, you can't go pretty much go against the Spurs because I mean they defend the champs, but it depends on how well you get, what you get out of Blake Griffin. You know, like if he plays like the way he should play, I think they can pull it out, but I doubt it because I mean he's soft to me.
More?
Yeah, it's definitely about the matchups with this series. Chris Paul, he has to like completely dominate Parker. Like you said, Blake Griffin, he has to come of age. It's like definitely a big series for the Clippers, but I think the Spurs gonna pull it out.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers got the unlucky part of the draw, getting the Spurs in the first round.
Yeah,
I'm going with the Spurs too. I'm going with the Spurs in maybe 6 games. You can't. Popovich in the series is tough to beat. Western Conference 4 or 5 matchup is with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, Portland is a 4 seed because they clinched the division. But they are starting out on the road because the 5 seed Memphis Grizzlies had a better record than them. So, who do you all pick to come out of this series and face Golden State in the second round?
I take Memphis.
Yeah.
Like they just like with Gasol and Randolph, they're too physical down low. Like I like Aldridge, but like I think Memphis gonna pull it out. Conley, he emerged this year too, so I think Memphis.
Yeah, the new coach, he got them playing like lights out. Like they're better teams, the same squad but better record, and they just playing lights out. So I take Memphis.
I'm riding with Memphis too. Portland did not beat Memphis this season at all. They were 0-4. I'm going to take Memphis versus Golden State in the second round. Who wins? Does Memphis have what it takes to beat Golden State in the 7-game series?
I think they can, depending on the defense. They're real physical. That's what I'm saying. Like you get real physical with Steph Curry. You know he's soft as tissue. You hit him too hard, you know he injured, but he's been performing this year. But like they don't have enough bigs to stop Zach Randolph and Gasol if they play up to par. If not, Golden State.
Your prediction is Memphis or Golden State?
That's a tough one. Come back to me.
gotta ponder. More. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Golden State because of home field advantage. I don't think they're gonna lose in Oakland at all. So I think they'll probably beat Memphis in 6.
Dale, you ready?
But you know I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna go with Memphis in 7.
Memphis is 7.
And 7.
This is tough. I don't think that Memphis has the firepower to just beat them like that in 7 games. I think it's going to be a great series. Right. Golden State can score so easy. If if the Bigs get in foul trouble in these games, they won't stand a chance. In the other second round matchup, we would have the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets, another battle of Texas. Who do you all like in this series?
Spurs. I'll take Spurs.
Yeah, the Spurs.
I'm gonna ride with the Spurs as well.
Yeah, I'll take Spurs.
You know, once you get past the Houston starting 5, you know, it's really nothing spectacular to talk about.
Yeah, I'm taking the Spurs with that one.
Okay, so with the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals versus Golden State and Memphis, who wins this matchup with the Spurs and your upset Grizzlies.
I'm gonna ride the upset all the way. I'm gonna take Memphis.
All right.
Against the Spurs.
Okay, sir.
I'm gonna take Golden State.
Golden State over the Spurs.
Yeah.
This is tough. This is tough. But if there's one team in the West that I think can beat Golden State, it is the Spurs.
They did
But
beat them in Oakland.
I think this is the year that Golden State makes it to the finals and come out of the Western Conference.
If the Spurs, in my opinion, if the Spurs play Golden State, I'm taking the Spurs. I'm not taking Golden State. Like anybody, I think that you play physical. Golden State reminds me of like Phoenix, you know.
Okay.
But I mean, Curry's a little better than Nash, but like they remind me of Phoenix. You get a little physical with them, you can beat them, and you got to play defense. You stop the 3-point shot, yeah, you know. And I think like the Spurs can do it, and I think Memphis can do it. Memphis, if everything falls into place, but definitely the Spurs. I don't think Golden State can beat the Spurs.
Switching gears to the Eastern Conference, in the number 1 seed we have the Atlanta Hawks, and I think that we both predicted Atlanta to be the number 1 seed. No one ever thought that they would win 60 games in the beginning of the season. They will face off against the Brooklyn Nets. In this series, I don't think Brooklyn will win a game.
No, it's a joke.
Yeah, I don't think they'll win a game.
What do you mean to talk about that? Just move on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can break down with that.
We'll move on.
Let's move on.
In this, to let me moving real fast again.
Yeah, we're gonna blow through
The
these.
Cleveland Cavaliers, led by LeBron James and Kyrie Irving, are facing off against the Boston Celtics, who are surprisingly in the playoffs. I mean, they have nobody. They have nobody.
I think they're only in the playoffs because of the Bosh injury. Like I talked to you about
Yeah.
off air. I feel like if Miami would have got that 7th seed, that would have been a great series. They possibly could have pushed Cleveland. I don't want to say 7, but they would have definitely made them earn it. You know, but that's the only reason I see teams like the Nets and the Celtics and the Bucks are a joke too. But we go ahead.
I'm still surprised that Miami didn't get in there because they still had enough without Bosh. You know what I mean? But that's another story. But yeah, Cleveland, they gonna sweep up Boston.
Okay, so everyone's predicting the Cleveland sweep of the Celtics. In the 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference, we have the Toronto Raptors, who won the Atlantic Division, and the Washington Wizards. This will probably be the most competitive series
That's tough.
in the Eastern Conference first round. I picked Toronto because Washington's banged up and they haven't been playing very well going into the playoffs. But Washington is tough, and they have veterans and bigs that can go at Toronto.
Physical.
I do think that Toronto would have a better shot against Atlanta in the second round if they were to make it versus Washington. What do you all think?
I predict Washington as far as the matchup goes. It's just because based on the matchups, I just think they're more physical team than Toronto. So I think they'll get the ball down low, and while we penetrate, they just seem like they better to attack Toronto. So I think I predict Washington will win in 6.
Once again, just like my picks in the West, Toronto, they can score, but Washington is physical. And playoffs, physical teams, I think they win. I think Washington pull it out. I say 6, just like Mark. I think 6, but
Okay. In your 3-6 matchup, you have the Milwaukee Bucks, who had the worst record in the league last year, and they are facing off against our hometown team, the Chicago Bulls. How do you all think this series is going to go?
I think this one may go 5, just because of the Bulls' inconsistency on defense. You're gonna have one of those games where they just Gasol doesn't play any defense, and Rose probably shoots about 10 threes. But like if Rose plays the way that he played last night, and he continues to with the consistency throughout the playoff, I think. Well, I got ahead of myself with that one, but I picked the Bulls.
Okay.
The Bulls in 4. Bulls in 5.
Bulls in 5.
I got ahead of myself.
Yeah, I agree. Bulls in 5. It's gonna probably be either game 3 or 4 when Milwaukee they just shoot lights out and it don't matter what the Bulls do.
We're all on the same page with that. If the Bulls are to move on to the second round, they will face the second seed Cleveland Cavaliers, which is a highly anticipated matchup. Can't avoid them. Even if we were to get to the finals,
Get out the way.
do the Bulls have a shot to win the series?
I think so. Like where I was going with that one is if Rose plays the way he's been playing, and if Gasol decides to play a little defense and rebound the way he is, I think the Bulls can win. I think they can finally get over that hump with LeBron. It just reminds me of the year with Allen Iverson when he finally got past the Pacers. It would be like that. I had to throw Iverson popping now.
Okay. That looks like Iverson.
Start moving on.
They have a shot, but it's a long shot. Like I just think Cleveland, ever since they made them trades in the middle of the season, they got too much firepower. Like Kyrie Irving, he's playing lights out. The center that they got on, I can't think his name. Mozgov. He's a beast. Like I think he's just gonna make the song look foolish.
He's not. the Cleveland teams are.
Gasol
All the
does
LeBron
not
teams are
play-
already.
Gasol does not play good against physical centers.
Mozgov not physical. It's just that he's on that team. Which is whenever you get a LeBron team, every player always seems to look like they stand out like superstars.
Now, I always thought he was a good player even in Denver, and I was like, I couldn't believe they got rid of him.
Yeah, nah, he's overrated to me. Like LeBron, every time they get in the playoffs, it's the same team. Spread the floor, 3-point shooters. What I would do is the way teams always play Iverson. There you go again. I would just let him get his shot.
He can create his own shot too.
That's fine. But they always tend to focus on LeBron, double team with LeBron, and you kicking it out to people like Jones hitting threes. I'd rather LeBron, Kyrie beat me, and maybe even Love, than have all these J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert beat me like that. That's how the Bulls always end up losing to Miami. Every team that play Miami, that's how it ends up going.
What's your prediction?
I'm taking the Bulls.
In
7.
Bulls in 7. Game 7 on the road, you pick the Bulls.
Yeah.
What about you?
Cleveland is 6.
Cleveland is 6.
Yeah.
I'm riding with the Bulls, of course.
I hope they win, but I just think it's gonna be Cleveland.
I
6.
don't think that they can beat Cleveland in 7. In a 7-game series, I don't
So
think
if they
so.
win, they have to do it in 6.
I'm going with Cleveland.
Because the refs cheat.
I'm going with the Bulls to win the championship, but I'm going with Cleveland in 7 games. In the other second round matchup, Atlanta and the Wizards for you all. Do the Wizards have a chance to beat Atlanta?
Yes, I think any other team outside of their first round matchup with Atlanta, I think Atlanta can lose. Like I don't take them serious at all. They like one of those teams that they get the first seed. Like it was a while ago with Dallas and what was it, Golden State when they upset the number 1 seed. That's how I look at Atlanta. It's like they in there, but whoever they beat in the second round, I see them losing.
Washington in how many games?
5, 6. I can give them 6.
More?
I could see 6 games. Yeah.
Washington?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go against both of these guys. I'm going to say Atlanta in 5. Watching Atlanta, especially against the Bulls, their starting lineup, they move the ball so well. They're unselfish, they're energetic, and they move on defense. I don't see Washington or Toronto, my pick was Toronto, beating them even 3 times. They're just that good to me if they stay healthy.
I think you gotta get physical.
We are that's key. But we'll see. So you have the Bulls in Atlanta in the Eastern Conference
I
Final.
got Bulls in Washington.
Oh, Bulls. Bulls in Washington.
Bulls in Washington. Bulls.
How many?
Bulls in 5. It's personal. It'll
Bulls
be
at
personal.
5?
Yeah, it'll be personal. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think they will play them like it will be like lights out. Like it won't be no letting up. They won't have a letdown game when they play Washington. And I think Rose, if Rose is remaining healthy throughout the playoffs, then by that point, it'll be 5. Bulls and 5 against Washington.
Cleveland and Washington.
Yeah.
Cleveland in 6 games. I have Cleveland and Atlanta. Hopefully it's the Bulls in Atlanta. Let me just make that perfectly clear. I really like Atlanta's team. I think that they are tough, and I think that they're gonna have home court advantage, and I think that they will beat Cleveland in Game 7.
Atlanta?
Atlanta.
No, I can't see Atlanta going to the finals.
I cannot see
We
Atlanta
don't-
beating anybody.
We don't want Atlanta to go to the final.
Well, I think whoever plays the West outside of the Bulls, we're going for home team. Outside of the Bulls, the West is going to win the championship. Cleveland, Washington, Atlanta.
No team. In the NBA Finals preview for 2015, Terrence Rogers, has picked the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Chicago Bulls in the finals. Who do you think will win this series, Terrence?
Well, like I said earlier, I think this is the year of the Bulls. I think the Bulls will come out. I think they'll handle Memphis. I think they'll handle Memphis. I'll give them 6. I say Bulls in 6 against Memphis.
Okay. We both chose Cleveland and Golden State in the finals. Where are you going with your pick?
I'm going with Golden State. I can never pick LeBron. I'm picking them at 6.
Golden State in 6?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Golden State in 6 as well. I want the Bulls, and I feel terrible even saying something like this, but I have to be objective, and I'm going to go with Golden State this year. They're tough, and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson they're tough.
They're the Phoenix Suns with Joe Johnson and Nash and Stoudemire, and they always had the best record, or right up top, and they always found a way to lose. You stop the threes, play physical.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Golden State coached by Steve Kerr, former Chicago Bull, 3-time champion, champion with the Spurs as well. He has given them more of a defensive presence that they didn't have with Mark Jackson as their head coach. Do you all pick him for Coach of the Year?
In the West,
It's Coach of the Year for the NBA.
no, I'll take it. I'll take Atlanta's coach for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Not even going to try to pronounce his name.
No, not even. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know the hell he is. Moving on.
Yeah, it's like Falawazov or something. It's crazy.
Whoever he is, he's doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah.
Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Kerr's a second, close second though. What he did, being a rookie, never had any coaching experience.
I don't think he did nothing. They already had Mark Jackson. They already had a good team. They just had to put all the pieces together. I just think it's overhyped.
Jackson couldn't do that.
Jackson could. I think Jackson is a good coach. I just think Kerr just walked into a good situation and just benefited from it. That's just my opinion.
True. But I mean, so did Phil Jackson, and the coach prior to Phil in LA couldn't get the job done.
Right, Phil is coach. Like you watch these coaches and you watch these games, it's like I don't see Kerr acting like he's running the team, like he's out there calling play. Like you see Tibbs or you see Pop, you know they controlling the floor. It's like they just out there like, hey, you know that one play when Curry was dribbling and hit that 3 and Kerr just what the hell, you know? So that's what I'm saying. I respect Steve Kerr. The coach.
But they never had the best record in the NBA under Mike Jackson, and I don't even think they were higher than a 3 seed.
No, but it's
under Mike Jackson. So Steve Kerr did come in and make some drastic changes.
Maybe he just let him play. Maybe he just came in and said, hey, go play. Lamar Jackson was more so like, no, I want it this way. And when they maybe gave him that freedom, like we hear about LeBron in Cleveland, like the coach just say, hey LeBron, go run the floor, go do your thing.
So we all pick Atlanta, coach to win 60 games.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Nobody. I mean, we thought Atlanta maybe a 5th seed. We said Cleveland, Chicago, Washington, Toronto, maybe a 5th. Really? We thought maybe there'd be a 5th seed after those teams. So
I didn't.
Most improved player, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
No one else.
Definitely Butler.
He actually should have won it the year prior, because I thought he should have had some improvement then. But
he averaged 20 points on the head this year. So Jimmy Butler, most improved player. Final topic, league MVP. You have runners, Steph Curry from Golden State, who we're predicting to win the championship. You have James Harden from Houston. You got to throw LeBron in there just because.
I don't want to throw him
and Russell Westbrook, who kind of cooled off, and his team didn't make the playoffs. So I think we can we X out LeBron and Westbrook?
Westbrook shouldn't even been in the discussion.
Well, all those triple doubles, he should have been in there.
Triple doubles.
See,
Jason Kidd was a triple double machine.
But he led
not like
that
what
team
Westbrook was doing.
when Durant was out.
You know where I'm going with this? Westbrook? Allen Iverson again. He used to have these, like he would always have these great seasons, but they would never make the playoffs. He wouldn't even be considered. I'm not saying he should be MVP, but I definitely think he should be like a close 3. I'll be the crazy man again. And I would say, like, I know I haven't been a co-MVP in so long, I probably would go that route because it's so hard to pick between Curry and Harden.
That's a good prediction.
I would say Curry. Because Harden, what he's doing with Houston, is just like, you wouldn't expect that. Like, Dwight Howard is just like non-existent. And then you got Curry.
He's overrated in my eyes anyway.
Been overrated.
Yeah, he's been overrated.
So we said it's between Stephen Curry and James Harden?
Yeah.
James Harden, yeah.
Who's your MVP?
I would go with it's tough because, like you said, Howard was hurt, and I'm a fan of players who play when their team getting hurt and everything. I think that's how D Rose got the.
So you should be a fan of Westbrook. The same thing.
Westbrook, he was like a video game. He was just trying to run up the score and he was trying to get triple double. He didn't let it come natural. Like, he was just taking shots. He was trying to force it to me in a way. That's why I don't want Westbrook winning it. You know what I mean?
Well, Westbrook won't.
Right, he won't win because they didn't make the playoffs.
Who you got? Harden or Curry? Tell the people right there.
I would take Curry.
Stephen Curry is Mark's MVP. Dale.
Cole.
Co-MVP?
Yeah, co-MVP. Harden and Curry. I think it's too tight.
Harden and Curry. You know what? It's tough. I think Harden has. I'm gonna go with Stephen Curry because he's light skinned. I think that the people I go to vote for Curry because he's light.
Racial?
He's light, and he doesn't have a long beard, baby face.
He's more marketable. Huh?
Yeah, that's Harden deserves it because you take Harden off that team.
Oh my God,
they don't make the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But if we talk about the NBA, I think Mr. Curry is going to be the MVP. I want to thank Mark Twain, sir, Dale, sir, for joining me on this NBA playoffs edition of Sir on the Two.